Just want to remind everybody that all council meetings will be audio and video taped and will be shown on the Township Ocean Community Cable Channel, Channel 22 on Verizon Fios, and Channel 77 on Cablevision. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Napolitani?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fisher?
Here.
Council members Achara?
Here.
Kaplan?
Here.
Weinstein?
Here.
The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied, and a copy of the annual notice was posted in the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk and on January 3rd, 2025. Your meeting's over. Trying to do my dual thing here. It didn't work out too good. First up on the list, we have our Township Engineer, Greg Blash.
Okay.
Turn it over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Go through the list of projects. The 2022 program, as I'm sure most of you are aware, is coming to an end. We've paved down Lisa and Brookside. We have Up Dyke and Runyon tomorrow. We're moving to Bimbler on Monday. That's the last road. And as we talked about, Bimbler will, when that's closed, will remain closed for the entrance program, for the entrance traffic. I did not hear back from the county about putting a no left turn on the other side of the road, which is not Ocean Township property, but we'll put signs on our side, and I'll ask PD to put the message board out, traffic pattern changes.
Right.
So that's all coming.
What's the time frame on that?
Couple weeks.
Couple weeks,
He's
Ben?
probably gonna be on Bimbler for about a week, and then he'll pave it and be out of there. So probably like a week from Monday.
So we'll get the signs out and notification to the residents. Do we have to notify them, or?
We probably, I don't know, we probably
Do it on
put
social
some on the
media
website. I'll talk to Tracy about putting some on there.
Do something on the site, social media, the signs and stuff like that, just to give some,
Okay. Next one, the 24 program was submitted to NJDOT to get authorization to advertise that for bid. So that's going to be coming up soon. The 25 program, I handed everybody out a list, most everybody out a list of the roads. They were selected for the program. The only thing I really want to discuss about them, one of the things I've done is item number 1, which was Roselle Avenue. I reached out to Interlaken to see if they wanted to share Corley's, because Corley's can use it. They didn't have any interest this year. They said maybe next year. So we're reaching out to see if Deal, they've already expressed interest on doing Roselle from Monmouth going eastbound. So that's what we're going to put in for our TTF grant with a shared application. What you said, we have to double confirm it with Deal, but if that's the case, that'll be our application this year for TTF funding. If they decide they do not want to do that this year, then I'm going to put Logan in for our TTF between the 35 and Sunset.
what do we usually get for that?
It varies. I mean, we've gotten as low as 150,000, but the last couple of years we've been getting around 300.
Oh, good.
So yeah, we're kind of up right now. All the political stuff going on, you never know what we're going to get. But
Yeah, this is the year to ask
It's
for
election
money.
season.
Question,
It's Christmas time.
not to complicate things, but is there any opportunity to put that sidewalk between Monmouth and Logan on Roselle's where everyone complains about
between Monmouth and Logan.
Remember, a gentleman reached out, Silvera, because there's like an area that turned before we
Between
could
the
back
golf
out.
courses?
Yeah. Yeah, right around right after the golf courses, where there's like that slope, that hill that's very,
Oh,
you can't see where the cars are, and there was like there was like a brook underneath. There was like a lot
yeah,
of.
there's no way we could put a sidewalk. There was a cost prohibitive. It'd be several $1 million for us to put a sidewalk in there.
Great.
Just because of the slope. I mean, you saw the tall trees on there. Once you took the trees down to widen it for the sidewalk, then we'd have to build a 15 to 20 foot high retaining wall. And
That was what it was.
And then we'd also have to build a bridge over the stream, which that stream is on a curve, so that
project.
bridge would be probably several hundred feet long.
There's
That'd
no
be
creative
millions of
way.
dollars.
Right.
I mean, yeah, there is really no creative way. It'd be easier to cross to the other side, but the ditch is even worse. That falls off the road the other way. So that's just a bad stretch of road, impossible to get a sidewalk through.
Gotcha.
So, until all those trees go down, I think, if the trees started dying, I don't know, they're probably gonna last another 20 years, but when the
Right.
trees start going, that'd be the time to do that.
Okay.
Because it'll naturally, the slope will naturally fail that.
Okay.
Hey Greg, just on this, contextually, is this Are we expecting these to be done by 2025?
Those are currently being surveyed for 25.
Currently being
program.
surveyed for,
Yeah.
okay.
So they'll probably be done in 26.
And is the intent when you see something like this, that this is the order in which they'd also be done?
No.
No? That
That's
has
just
nothing to
the
do with
order
it?
that
Okay.
kind of, as you can see, most of them are phases 2 and 3.
I see.
Finishing up the roads, and then it goes down the list on the ones that have the lowest ranking. That's just how we get. on the
Okay, so
list.
when you can, you do, and then you kind of just roll it along?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, the top 3 or 4 we want to finish,
good.
and then the other ones are just fill-ins, and then you get to the bottom, you'll notice the ones on the bottom are smaller roads that kind of just fill in based on the cost estimate to fill in and make the puzzle work.
So is the guesstimate that these will be completed in 2026?
Yep.
That's the estimate? Okay.
Yeah, well, there's an outside chance we could start the concrete work this fall,
Uh-huh.
but most likely, the paving will definitely be next year.
Okay.
Okay. Next project, Kepwell, that's on your agenda tonight for award of bid. We got the numbers in for the demo of that. That's on, so that's ready to go once we get that authorized. Next one, we have Fireman's Pond's on for October, Lollipop Pond. We finished the wetlands and the soil testing is complete. Same kind of thing, we got high arsenic and all that, so we're gonna be submitting to DOT probably in 2 weeks to start the permitting with them. And that is scheduled for October of 26 to be dredged. So we'll probably have our permit by the end of this year
From?
from DOT, I mean DEP.
Really, that quick?
Well,
It's been in
still
for
6
18 months.
It's still 6 months from now. Yeah, it's, we're hoping.
Greg, have you gotten a response back from the 2 emails that I sent in regard to that meeting? Okay,
No.
I think maybe,
I got your emails, but I didn't get a
yeah, I
response
sent
yet.
another one. I know that the election's over, so let me call the director and just give him another reminder so that we can get this, because we really need to get that meeting set so we can figure out what we're doing with those projects and know that that one gets in the hopper. At least the first one, Fireman's, we want to start.
Yep. Well, we want to start that October,
Yep.
because the first one's gonna just push the other ones
Yep.
back if we don't get that
Yeah,
one.
because if we get past a certain point, we're gonna be limited, right, out there? Or
No, we
can
just
they
can't
work?
start until October. We can work
Right.
all through the whole winter.
They can work through the winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just nicer to get going when it's still warmer, so you
Yep.
don't have to
I-
have guys working in water when it's freezing.
Yeah, and I'd like people to see that we're actually doing something too, you know? It's been a long time coming, and just so, people know and the residents understand that it's not the town that drags their feet on getting the projects done. A lot of times, and you heard Councilman Nacera say it about the DEP, it's a very lengthy process dealing with them and getting them to, do the approvals and the permits, and believe me, we stay on top of everything. So, Greg, thanks for following through on that.
Okay, no problem. And then the third one, Terrace Pond, that's the third priority. We'll push that through. I don't want to put both of them in the DEP at the same time. So once we get the other one submitted, we'll finish the plans up for that one and get that one submitted probably by the end of the year for approval next year.
Greg, have they gotten any indicator on the start of that project up at Seaview Square, which is going to actually affect that Terrace Pond project?
I believe they've started the design work.
Good.
I know that, so something's broken loose there. I don't know exactly what it was, but they
Yeah.
have started the design work.
Okay.
Okay, then the next one, 1515 logo, we're waiting for DEP. Bimler, we talked about, that's gonna be associated with the road program, the closure. Crosswalk at Sunset and Chestnut was painted, that's done. Remember, last year a gentleman came and wanted that crosswalk. We put it where, that's kind of dovetailing nicely when we get the bridge built across Lollipop Pond. So that'll be nice. The new DPW facility, we're waiting for the delineation for approval of the wetland delineation to know what we're gonna move forward with a new DPW site there.
That's Cindy Lane.
Off of Cindy Lane, yes. The Kramer Court Bridge is completed. We're just waiting for JCP&L to set the meter. Once they set the meter, they'll make the final connection. There's a neighbor there that's allowing us to connect into his house to run the lights right now, which is awful nice of him. But,
There's lights on right now.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're tapped into his electric.
Okay.
Extension cord?
Yeah. Yep.
Dave, I'm going to borrow a little from you at some point.
They're LEDs, they don't use much energy. And the stream cleanings are the next several things on here. That's gonna happen in the fall. we'll start talking about those in the fall for what's all winter projects, for when the ground is firmer. The other thing that we talked about, the drainage on Sheridan-Crosby intersection, that is actually in the 24 program, which is gonna happen in, you'll see on the list, I've got Crosby on the list for, I think, yeah, Crosby's on there for paving in 25 program. And then, the last item is emergency work. Part of the change order tonight that I'm looking for, it's gonna come out of the 21 program. We had extra money in there. So I've used all that to accomplish 3 emergencies that we have.
Is that change order for 32 cents that we're getting back?
Yeah.
Negative.
Where are we gonna put all that?
Negative.
We saved money.
But what we're doing is there's a manhole that's in failure on Beverly that's been out there for a couple of years now. The DPW have been trying to get that money for that. There's also a sinkhole in front of the Pepsi plant for our storm pipe that goes across their lawn and keeps growing every time it rains. That's part of that change order. And then there's some curb that was hit on Sunset that caused that. So that was nice when we get all those things done. Oh, and then I'm done.
So while I'm asking about DEP or having fun with them, anything on 1515?
No, we haven't, but their clock runs out, I believe, in the next 2 weeks, the 90-day clock.
Oh.
So we should be hearing from them soon. And I know that what they're gonna do, their first thing we're gonna hear from them is the fee. Because there's an associated fee with our permit, that's what they're probably calculating now. And they'll give us that probably in the next week or so.
So it's not a flat fee, huh?
No, well, it is, but it's based on the amount of disturbance. So they'll calculate that and let us know what it is.
I didn't know there was a 90-day, so the fact that it's
Extreme
taken so...
encroachment. Extreme encroachment, once they deem you complete, there's a 90-day clock they have to respond.
Oh, good. All right.
Deeming you complete is pretty much, they're happy with everything you did, because if they can find a way to kick you out, which, that's what they kept doing to us, every time they were just one up on us. You know, okay, now go to this, and then they hit us with the new regulations that are coming out for the extreme
Right.
encroachment. We already had conformed to that. So that was the last thing, the big thing that we had to do.
Got it.
So we're in
Okay.
pretty good shape there.
Do you have any timeline on this traffic light over on Cold Indian there?
I believe they're just designing it now. I
Anymore?
think we've agreed to put a light there, gonna pay for that, then they'll design, it'll probably be a couple of years out.
A couple of years out.
Before it's installed.
Okay.
Because they go through, they do all their traffic warrants and all that, and then when they're done with that, then they gotta put it out to bid. And then they get all the comments from everybody around it after they, advertise it, and then they actually start the construction. So this
I
is
missed it, how long is it gonna take? I'm
Years.
sorry.
a couple of
We
years.
just said years.
Oh, years?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's not next week.
But maybe next week, South Lincoln and Norwood, is that done?
Could be. I don't know what, I don't have a lot to do with the internals of these, they're all handled by the DOT, but that one may be a little further along because there's less involvement. Because there you have the
Okay.
DOT ramps, the Route 18 ramps.
Right.
So that's gonna take a little longer to design.
Okay. You just, it made me think of it when you mentioned stream cleaning. So I know we cleaned Palaya Park, the streams in there. What's the cause of the color of the orange water in the?
It's just iron in the water.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
it
point.
actually comes from groundwater. I see
Really?
it a lot where it runs over curbs, like out where you guys live, on the west side of town, you have a lot of hilly areas, like Seward and all that, there, you see the orange curbs there, it's from the high
Oh,
side.
really?
Water coming out of the ground, it's the iron content in the water.
Okay.
Now you
It's
know.
not sewage.
Iron's
or-
good for you.
No,
Okay.
not sewage. If it was sewage, you'd smell it.
I'd smell it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, all right, no other questions, I'm done. Did you
Thanks,
need-
Greg.
You might want to stick to the one on, the first one.
Okay.
Mayor, you good?
Want to hit you next?
Yeah, I've got a couple of items for open session and some closed session. The open item session, I just want to draw everybody's attention to Resolution 25-106. That is the creating and implementation of a long-range plan to address drainage issues in the Township of Ocean. This came our way via the JIF and the MEL. The JIF is our joint insurance fund, basically our insurance piece. And there was an article in the New Jersey League of Municipalities, if you want to see it. It's in this month's issue. It's called Long Range Plan to Address Drainage Issues. And basically, in a recent decision, a jury awarded $21.5 million in damages against the municipality because flooding damaged 4 houses during a 55-minute microburst that was actually greater than a 200-year storm. So all this is doing is putting into to context and into a resolution of what we're already doing. Because you already heard Greg talking about doing stream cleaning, doing dredging. We also, every year, annually, we do our municipal separate storm sewer system, also known as the MS4. That's done annually. So with all those things already being done, now we're just codifying it into this resolution, and that this will, in accordance with the GIF legal counsel, this will help protect the municipality from any future lawsuits.
So is there an original plan that this is an update to, or is it like from scratch with creating?
Basically, what I would say is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, we have a whole bunch of mini plans.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna condense it into one plan that's gonna be called the watershed. There has to be a watershed assessment done, which we may already have, which is we'll mark out all the stormwater drains around town. And then, and I just noticed the county's going around doing that now. If you live or drive on a county road, there's these big white stickers now that identify them. So they're probably doing the same thing. And then you'll see what we'll end up is having a watershed improvement plan and report.
Mhm.
And then I think it's either every year we'll take a look at that plan and just re-up it and bring it back to the governing body every year.
So somebody gives you a methodology on what the plan looks like.
But we're gonna, like Dave said, we're gonna codify what we're already doing.
I
Yeah.
see, okay.
Yeah.
It's just like Dave said, we got pieces over here, we do like the DPW cleans out all the inlets every year,
Mm-hmm.
or 25% of them every year. And then we do an MS4 report that shows and documents which ones they've done. We have a map already that shows all the inlets in the town and all the drainage areas. So that's all gonna go into this plan.
Right.
So it's just a matter of listing the things. And that's what the GIF says, that it's better if we have it codified, because then it shows we have order to what we're doing.
Mhm. Good, good. That's great.
And then the second item I had was the Route 35 report is due in July. So I expect to see that mid-July, so hopefully by, Jess, when's our July meeting?
July 10th.
Okay, I'm gonna see if they can have it before then.
They know they're
Is
only
it-
doing Ocean Township, they're not going up to the Amboys, right?
No, good thing though, Mayor, they have a survey out now, we're actually getting responses from the business owners.
I
That's
got-
what's been taking so long.
I got some people that questioned me on that, they thought it was spam. I said, no, we're doing a complete,
Yeah.
study and, just trying to get jump started on some stuff, so.
Well, that's good to know for future, because I would think that too, probably.
So is the expectation that they do the report and they give us a presentation on what they actually discovered? Or is it they give us a report and we kind of then just meet with them? What's the?
Either way, let's see what the report looks like. I mean, if it's
Okay.
not that hard to decipher, we can probably chop it up ourselves. If not, we can have them come in and speak to it as well.
Okay, good. So you
Dave,
think
we
you can have by the
may,
10th, right?
I'm
You
gonna
wanna
ask for it by the 10th.
great.
I was under the presumption they were around mid, but I would like to get it in before the meeting.
Great.
We may want to have them maybe at August or September at one of the meetings, have them do a presentation, like a,
Yeah, that's
something on, as to, why, what we did, what they, what they found, what they see, what we should probably consider, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It'll dovetail a bit on what Councilman Weinstein and Sarah did on the 5th, what we were talking about originally with the corridor and stuff.
Okay.
Right.
And then I have 3 or 4 issues for closed session, mainly dealing with litigation or possible litigation.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Is Mary Beth on for,
Affordable housing.
Yeah, but no, I mean for, now or for closed?
Well, did you want to speak now?
Well, we've got the 6 o'clock planning board hearing, so I just want to make sure I can get down there for that.
Then you have to go into closed.
Yeah, they're over there. Are you supposed to be with them right now?
No, she's going downstairs.
Oh,
to the public
downstairs with
meeting.
them, yeah.
So I would say yes, let Mary Beth go now.
Yep.
Should we go into? we should go
Do we
into-
need to go into
Yeah,
closed?
thanks. I could have left after first.
Dave,
No problem, see you later.
Thanks.
do we need to go into closed quick for Mary Beth, or you open?
It's up to you.
I can keep things general. if
Okay,
you'd
yeah,
like.
this way then we don't have to kick people out,
Yeah.
come
Right.
back in, start again.
So we're doing the 6 o'clock, the planning board hearing on the 4th round housing element fair share plan. And then you folks will come on and do the your governing body meeting, the joint session, just so we have a really tight time frame. You know, everyone knows Wendy
Hi,
Caro.
I'm your affordable housing attorney.
Affordable housing attorney.
Wendy, hi.
And there's a really tight time frame, 24 hours, literally, sorry, not 20, oh, that's even worse. It's 48 hours to get the planning board resolutions and the governing body resolutions. There's 3 resolutions for the governing body. I'm just going to generally say it's a resolution to endorse that the planning board, would they adopt the housing element, and a resolution to approve the spending plan, and a resolution of intent to fund. That's probably the most controversial, but I'll leave, if you want to go into closed session, I'm not sure who is, or, it's up to you.
We'll go out.
No, well,
I think instead of dancing around it, I'd rather just kind of let her talk and, so she, there's
you
just
can keep
things you want to
that,
offer.
you could keep, because the third one is the one I have a question on too,
Yeah.
but you can keep it at a high, it doesn't have to be specific to us.
It's a common, it's a statutorily required resolution. Let me say it this way. You know, the Affordable Housing Alliance has received state funds in the past for Cindy Lane development. We have all hope that they will receive state and federal funds again for the proposed 100% affordable site. You will amend your plan if they don't. Let me just leave it at that, right? They don't get funding, we amend the plan. We start again.
Have we passed that in the past? Have we passed that resolution in the past?
Yes, yes, you did. You did, I think your plan was like 2019-ish.
Okay.
And we did it back then.
Okay.
And you had a couple 100% jobs with CIS.
And
Senior
just
jobs.
to weigh in on that, if I may, so your spending plan is generally a projection of what you think is gonna come in on development fees. And in order to be compliant with the statute and to be able to use those fees, you also have to encumber those monies on a projected basis of what you think is coming. So that's also kind of the balance for this resolution, is if there's programs that are provided for in your spending plan and the development fees don't come in time, you have the ability then to go out for other sources of funds, including potentially bonding for that money, or as Mary Beth mentioned, we amend the plan.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
And it's not necessarily specific to this. Did I read something that there was a court decision that just occurred?
You did?
Can you expound on that a little bit?
I can a little bit. I did, with the time given to me over the last 24 hours and not in my car, I've been able to just kind of review it quickly. What it is was questioning, so there's 2 parts to what everybody's doing with this affordable housing program in round 4. First, there was the amendment to the Fair Housing Act that the governor signed into law last March of 2024 that started the process rolling. And then in December of 2024, the Administrative Office of the Court put out a directive which kind of gave the guidelines for how the Alternative Dispute Program, which we now just call the program, that's basically replacing COA in determining whether plans are sufficient, certification, those types of endeavors that COA would have done previously. The court directive was giving the guidance for how the program was supposed to work, but went a little bit farther than what the statute required. So what this decision was agreeing with the coalition municipalities that challenged parts of that directive, including, for example, the directive indicated that the Housing Element Fair Share Plan, which is on for adoption by the Planning Board tonight, that it had to include adopted ordinances setting zoning for where your potential developments would happen. The Fair Housing Act, however, indicated that you have till March of 2026 to adopt those ordinances. So essentially what the decision yesterday provides is things that are inconsistent with the Fair Housing Act would actually, you don't have to comply with those parts of the directive, and it orders the court to clarify the directive to be in compliance with the legislation. So we know the court can't legislate, right? It's the 3 branches of power. So that's what that decision did. Your housing plan is fine as is. It's compliant with the Fair Housing Act. It's not more or less than what you need to do. So we're still on
So it
track.
doesn't affect us at this moment?
No.
Okay. Because the article made it sound like there might be some more leeway from the township standpoint?
Leeway in, with regard
Time.
to what you have in your housing plan and what's in the appendices, but the
Yes.
plan is the plan.
The plan's the plan. It's not like we're absolved of this plan and we can start all over again.
Correct.
Okay.
We still have to adopt something by June 30th, but now we have support as to why something is in draft form in the plan and not in adopted form.
Okay. All right,
Just to
thanks.
clarify something, you said the courts can't legislate. Isn't that the whole Mount Laurel decision was a court decision and not a legislative decision?
It was and it wasn't, because it led to the legislature then taking action in establishing COA and the Fair Housing Act. So they can't go beyond, they can interpret. But yes, they can also say, hey, if you're not gonna do something, we're gonna keep deciding on one-offs.
Right.
So,
All right.
any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Perfect. I will go downstairs.
Yes, we have one flag request.
They've been doing this the past few years. The Monmouth County Indian Association, Rahul Shah would like to fly the Indian flag from August 15th to August 22nd.
This is the one we do every year?
Yeah. Someone,
Parade around the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they said they're going to do the actual hoisting on the
On what time?
on the 17th.
Okay.
Sunday the 17th at 10 a.m. I'll send them memo around.
Thanks.
All in favor?
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed?
Before we go to our next item, I just want to recognize Councilman John Weber from the Borough of Bradley Beach. How you doing there, Councilman? He's not here as a councilman right here now, though, but he has a couple words to say about one of our resolutions.
Okay, thank you.
So I'd love to put you on the spot there, John.
Not a
so
problem.
Here you go.
Ready, I got my Oceana gear on. So,
Yeah.
John Weber, I work for Oceana. We're one of the largest ocean conservation groups in the world. And you have a resolution on your consent agenda for, it's against, opposing offshore oil drilling, which hopefully is something we can all agree on. Pardon the pun, but this is not a drill. This is real. The federal administration has launched a new plan for offshore oil drilling literally everywhere off all coasts of the U.S. It's like 2018 all over again. My organization and many others are fighting it. So one way we've been successful in the past is pushing back on this is local town resolutions. So I don't have to give you the whole history, but right now you got Bradley Beach, Avon, Neptune Township just did it. You're doing it tonight. I'm gonna get I don't know, half a dozen others next week, and if you pass it. So I hope you do pass this. And to make this really count, we're in a comment period. It's an initial comment period on this idea of drilling for oil everywhere offshore. To make it really count, if you do pass this, I would love to get in contact with your clerk or your administrator, if he's a good guy, I don't know.
She's a great,
And,
she's a great woman.
and just help you upload it as a comment on this program to the federal agency that's taking comments. So if you do pass it, I'll work with whoever you need on that, and that will be that. I probably was smart enough to bring a card today. Yes, indeed. David knows how to find me, but you.
I think I know how to find
We'll
it.
get it, yes, indeed. So you may have that, and thank you in advance. I hope we can all agree that our beaches are worth way more as tourist destinations and for recreation than for any kind of oil that would be out there. So that's it, and I appreciate it.
Great.
I'm glad I found you. 'Cause I was
Anybody
sitting
have a question
downstairs.
for John?
Oh, yeah, questions, yeah.
No? Got John, get out of here.
All right.
Lucky you.
Well, thank you.
Hey, man, good seeing
I'll see you later.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Okay, I'm running downstairs,
Okay.
and I gotta get out
You
of
should
here.
pick
so-
chairs all day.
She's got to go vote. She's on the planning board too.
I have one quick thing.
No.
Every year we do the purple flags for the
Yes.
Congratulations.
So they're
Congratulations.
looking to, they'd like to do
I
it.
heard something weird.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Hey,
All right, bye,
let's go,
everyone.
man. This is a bad classroom here, man.
You know, every year we do the purple flags representing the
Oh, yeah.
deaths and from substance abuse, and they'd like to do it again this year.
What's the, when is
They're
that?
going to, she'll let me know the exact date that they're gonna be placing the flags, but I'll let everybody know, maybe you can come and help us this year.
Yeah, let us know.
But they're going to be, we'll be putting up.
We always see them up. We just
Right.
don't know when they're going.
Right,
So,
and she'll,
let us know.
I told her we're interested, but I just wanna make sure we
Yep.
really.
I think it says over here.
Yeah.
That's when they're
Which
flying.
one?
But
Oh, she didn't say so.
she'll come and let me know when they're gonna set them up, but we're gonna be doing 13 purple flags.
Okay.
Representing 13 overdoses between January 1st of '23 and March 31st of '20. I think she means '25.
Mm.
But when I find out when we're gonna
Mm.
be doing this, I'll let everyone know.
Yeah,
But we
just-
can do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Do whatever you're excited.
Cool.
Okay.
I like that. Lisa, for gas-powered leaf blowers.
Hi, everybody.
Lisa, I'm gonna turn the floor over to you.
Thank you. I'll try to keep this short and sweet. As you know, gas-powered leaf blowers are pretty ubiquitous. There was some going outside when I came in today. They're pretty much, everybody sees them as an inconvenience, but they do significant damage not only to our health, but to our environment. The noise level alone is really harmful. For me, it's tangible. I work from home in the summer, so I literally hear them all day long. Yesterday, they were going from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the afternoon without a break. It's like sitting in a room with the blow dryer blowing the entire time. That's the decibel level. So it's not just that it's all day. It's also when I go to work, I hear them at work as well, so I never get peace and quiet. It has affected my sleep, my blood pressure, and my mental health. That is one of the effects of continuous noise. It's making me really stressed. It raises my blood pressure to the point where I get really angry, and that is not a good way to be. So there's the fumes, there's carcinogens in there. Nobody wants to breathe that stuff. There is all sorts of stuff that contributes to global warming, and there's small particles that you inhale that can damage your lungs, so that's not good either. I've had COVID a couple of times. I don't need to be breathing that stuff anymore. And then the third thing is wildlife. Those blowers can be like 90 to 100 miles an hour blowing stuff on the ground where seedlings are and where their nests and insects are congregating and so forth. Also, the noise damages them because they cannot communicate. So once it's that loud, it just disrupts the entire life cycle. So it's not a situation that's going to continue. As you may know from reading my report, that there was a bill in Trenton this year. It sort of got stuck in committee. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So the short-term thing we can do to address this right now is do a survey. I'm a librarian, that's what I do. And that way you can gauge the actions that people want to take on this, because I can guarantee you people do want to take action. I've never met anybody who says leaf blowers are cool. So having the data in front of you is a good way to address the situation. I don't know if you've seen the report from Spring Lake, but that's what they did. They gathered like what solution people would want to see. And so that's how they got buy-in. So I know that there's lawn care businesses. I know people want to hold a business, that conduct business. Problem is, the hours are just unreasonable. I mean, I'm literally walking out of the house at 7 o'clock in the morning and hearing it, and then all day long.
For the record, our code says they can't start until after 8.
Well, you want to come to my neighborhood and yell at them?
No,
'Cause it's been
respectfully,
7:40
hold
in
on,
the
hold on,
morning.
Lisa, respectfully,
Yes, no, I'm sorry.
if it's annoying you and they're breaking the rules,
Yeah,
call code enforcement or call the police
Gotcha.
department. So
I
our
shall.
code does say 8 a.m.
got it. Thank you. Because so I do have a decibel reader on my phone. I have an app, and I've been taking them during the course of the day, so it documents not only the level but the time. So I can show you that it's all day long. So it's till 7 o'clock at night, and it's just, you want to be outside and enjoy the nice weather after a work day. Long term, these blowers are going to move to electric blowers. That's what most towns that have addressed this issue have done. The bill in Trenton provided for tax credits and subsidies for businesses to switch over to that, and also for private citizens. I think where it got stuck was the budget, but after the end of the session and this budget is finalized, it's likely that they'll go back into session one more time before the governor's out of office. So it's still an active issue. Even if it doesn't pass this year, it's going to pass eventually. So the switchover is coming sooner or later. We can be proactive and start with the process now, finding out what people want to do. So we all want less noise and we want less air pollution. And just for a personal standpoint, if stuff like this isn't addressed and people are walking around really stressed, like your blood pressure is high, and you get angry, like I go talk to these guys all the time, and they get people yelling at them all day long. I mean, it's not pleasant for them either. So the problem is when that's not addressed, people tend to take action that's not particularly useful or helpful and can be dangerous. Not that this is an analogy, but it's sort of the same thing. Like when somebody goes postal, it's because they feel like their problem has not been addressed in any other way, and they just don't see another way to deal with it. So I would not want to get in a situation each time that guy in the leaf blower business and the yarn care business. I wouldn't want to have some guy coming up to me with a concealed weapon or whatever. That's not out of the realm of possibility. So when people get frustrated, they do that. So I just ask you to please consider sending out a survey. I'd be glad to help you work on it. Again, that's what I do for a living. So thank you. Any questions?
What, can I just make a comment?
Sure.
So I spoke to a couple of companies that actually, do lawns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You guys good?
I didn't
So I spoke to a couple of companies that do it. So I think the challenge is right now, what you were saying is that, economically, each of them had about 10 blowers.
Right.
Okay? Every year, they don't have to replace them that often, right? So they're all saying that if they gave me some kind of financial reason to do this, right, I would do it. It's because each blower costs about $800. So if you have a small company and you have 10 blowers, it's $8,000 that they don't want to just pay out of their pocket to switch over. So the people I spoke to said they're committed to figuring out that when one of their systems die, that they go get an electric one. So I don't know the survey. I don't think anybody, at least people I talk to, are against it, of getting electric ones.
survey.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that these people weren't against it. They want to be able to do it. They don't like the idea that they have to have everybody with these, things on their head all the time, and they don't want to. They want to be kind to the environment. I mean, there are people who take care of lawns, right? So I just think, just economically, if you tell somebody they had to spend $8,000 to do it, it's probably a little bit too much for them.
That's what the subsidies are for in the bill that was entrenched. There is a specific thing that addresses that. So that is part of the package, and that is indeed why the bill got held up.
Yeah.
So and that's how, I think how it happened in Spring Lake, where over the course of time, through attrition, they just gradually did it. It wasn't like, you must spend this money.
What did the ordinance say that you were able to start?
It's rather confusing.
Yeah, I just thought about it. That's construction versus noise.
Okay.
That's where the difference.
You can start building at 7 a.m.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my
But you can start using a blower at 8
a.m.
Whether it fell into
Chainsaws,
7 o'clock or
blowers.
the 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
The
Right.
noise
But the
ordinance.
problem is if you have 100 lawns that you're trying to do, you're doing them all throughout the day, right? I mean, my guys,
God bless you.
everybody,
That's
right.
a
That's
So, two quick ones.
Yeah.
What's the carcinogen?
Benzene for one. There's another one that I can't remember off the top
And
of my head.
benzene
There's at
in-
least 2 of them.
In
yes.
what? What's the benzene in?
In the exhaust. All that is the exhaust that comes out. You know what all those guys wear their masks?
So that's the.
In addition to the ear,
So
yeah.
that,
they're
so
breathing
I'm
that
putting
stuff.
gas in a regular car, so is it the same exhaust?
Oh, the exhaust is the equivalent of like a truck driving all the way from Maine to Florida. That's about how much emissions come out.
And that's.
From like
that-
an hour.
Out of
of
one
use.
that's
blower?
car- and
It's
that's car-
insane how much comes. What?
And that's cancer causing.
Oh, yeah, carcinogen, yeah. Mm-hmm. Extremely
Okay.
hazardous.
And if I switch to an electric, so I'm allowed to switch to an electric blower?
Yeah.
I will personally tell you, my electric blower is twice as loud as the guys that are using the blowers on the gas next to me. So I'm just from a noise perspective, I get the environmental, that's one thing, but my blower is pretty damn loud. And I am using electric, not battery,
The
but
ones
electric.
are much quieter. There have been improvements made to them consistently over time.
Okay.
So it's just something that's going to be happening. I'd ask you to read the Spring Lake Commission, because they got the same resistance there. Everybody's got a lawn in Spring Lake, and people were just. I think the final thing that really put people over the edge was just there was never any quiet time. Like literally, what I was doing on Memorial Day, listening to leaf blowers in the guy behind me, 10 o'clock in the morning, on Memorial Day. All right, so I'm a reasonable person, but that's just not cool.
I think the enforcement of, being cognizant of an early start, I would definitely listen to what Councilman Nacero said and call the police department, call the zoning office, code enforcement, I mean, that would totally make sense.
But it doesn't address the fact that it's all day long. So like again, I would, well, the next time you blow dry your hair, imagine listening to that for 3 hours and not being able to turn it off. That's just what the frequency that we're on.
I've been in my bathroom.
I would
a couple times with
question,
my wife,
I
close
would
to 3
question
hours
the
sometimes.
lawn company that's taking 3 hours to do
Oh, but they
that.
go down the street. They come, they start far in, they
Just
go
doing
all
the
the way
whole
down,
street.
and you can
Right.
hear it from blocks away, because that low frequency noise travels. There's like 2 different types of noise.
But to be fair, it's really not every day, right? If they're doing your area, it's,
They-
Just
Rob,
about,
you have-
almost
copy
every
of that
day, I
ordinance? Spring
mean,
Lakes?
some days less than others, but no, there's not a consistent time when everybody's doing it, it's just like all day long random. And again, really late on a weekend, on a holiday, when people want to be outside, can't be outside.
Lisa, do you have a copy of that ordinance?
The ordinance, it's linked on my slideshow,
Oh,
I
if you
can send
could
it out to you.
maybe email it to us, I mean,
Okay.
you know, take a look.
Yeah, please do, because, again, it's not something that's gonna go away. I guarantee you that the state assembly is gonna take it up, and it's gonna pass sooner or later.
Well, that would
All
be
right.
nice.
Well, thank you all, I know you have other things to be
Thanks.
doing.
Thank you,
so,
Lisa.
I'll get that stuff
Can I
out to
just
you.
ask on
Nice to meet
the
Yes, sir.
hours? Is it 8 AM to what time? And
8
it's
PM?
Monday-
I believe it's 8 to 8.
PM and it's Monday through Friday?
I
Might be
believe-
Monday through Saturday, I believe Sunday might be a little later.
I'll check, but I believe it's 7 days a week.
It is,
Is it that?
even holidays.
Yeah, it's great, I mean,
So that might be something within your ability to.
So if I work
address.
7 days a week, 6 days a week, and the only time I can do my lawn is the Sunday, I can't do it?
We've
Just
talked
telling
about
you,
this a
we've
couple
had this
times.
conversation.
You have to balance residents and what you
Take
can
sick
do.
days.
That's what you
reasonable,
do.
it's like an accommodation, have a set time where we
Right.
know they're gonna be used, and we do other things inside.
And then you can look at other surrounding towns. I mean,
Exactly.
Everybody's 7 days a week, 8 to 8, would you want to somehow be different in Ocean Township?
We'll take a review of the ordinance and, consider some of those recommendations.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Next up, I believe we have Larchwood. There were some concerns over on Larchwood in regard to, I don't know if you're here for the one side of the street, no parking, or if you're here for the signage. I know there were a couple of issues.
Hand in hand.
Okay, so I can, and I'll speak, and then we have Sergeant Martinez here. The signs, and I was in a meeting with the sergeant, and she was very specific that she will go out there and make sure that the signs are placed in the proper area. I know there were some concerns that they were placed kind of in, like, eyesight of your windows, and
That's not
and the
true.
sergeant agreed, so I believe, Sarge, you said you don't have a problem going with our DPW to make sure that.
No, yes, we'll move them so they're not directly in front of.
That's not.
I know that's not what you're talking about.
But that was, I know that was one issue,
Right.
so let me do, is everybody gonna speak, or one, or like, how do you?
I am
Okay, go ahead.
not.
Just need, okay, just need your name and address for the record.
Lisa Shabbat, 56 Larchwood Avenue. Excuse me, I don't talk off the cuff. I put a lot of thought into my words. I've lived at Larchwood Avenue, 56 Larchwood Avenue in Oakhurst since 1998. Over the years, my husband and I have watched the street grow and flourish, not only with homes and people, but with cars. Larchwood has turned into a heavily used main thoroughfare that is getting worse each year. We've watched college kids continuously to this day speed down the street to get to class. Ocean Township Police are now stationed on the four-way stop sign to catch people, that's a side note, catch people jumping the stop sign.
Don't tell anybody.
Oh.
You blew
You
it,
stand
Brock.
there like a sore thumb to go to class. We've seen multiple homes put in basketball courts that host lessons and tournaments. We have wonderful occasions held in our homes. We have a few people involved in our school and hold meetings in their homes to discuss fundraisers. All of this adds up to a lot of cars. In the spring, summer, and fall, we have seen a huge amount of cars parked on Iowa Street due to all these good things. Now we have our synagogue going up that will only increase the number of cars added to the block. Getting out of the parking lot will be an absolute nightmare. Drivers will have difficulty exiting because of the cars parked to the left and to the right. From a safety point of view, moving the parking to the west side of the street has been a tremendous detriment for a host of different reasons. Utilizing the sidewalks on the east side makes perfect sense as far as safety is concerned. There is a continuous sidewalk on the east side in which passengers can safely exit their vehicles without needing to step on dirt, grass, or old tree stumps. The amount of cars that can fit safely on that side is more than the west side. As I showed the traffic officer back on May 14th when he came to my house the day after the signs were moved, I believe you were there too. I showed him how a passenger cannot fully open their car door if they're parked too close to my property because of the fact that my home sits higher. The majority of people who park on the street don't understand that they're not allowed to park a certain amount of feet from a driveway, so as a result, cars are parked right up to my curb. Because of my higher elevation, I don't have the visual that a level driveway has since my driveway slopes down. I can't see the cars coming, and because of this, I now have to inch out into the street, into oncoming traffic to get a better view, which creates a dangerous scenario for myself and oncoming cars. The addresses 50 and 54 have the same exact issue. I have video of parents walking their children before and after event that was held on June 1st, clearly showing cars in both directions going past them as they walk in the street towards their cars. I have video of parents with children navigating the uneven ground by my property line while trying to avoid walking in the street. Not one person who lives on Larchwood objected to the parking on the east side when it was first implemented years ago. We do understand that this change was probably done in consideration for our shul. Our hope is that you'll now see why this is such a safety concern for mostly everyone on the street. My opinion, I'd rather see no parking on Larchwood Avenue. If you just pull into my driveway and watch it during college, coming in and out, you can't get out of my driveway or any of our driveways on a Friday afternoon in June, July, and August. Okay, we do understand the change was done in consideration for our shul. Our hope is that you now see why this is such a safety concern for mostly everyone in the street. I read that, okay. Each home has, no parking on Larchwood, I would love that. Each home has a long enough driveway to accommodate many cars. I'd rather this solution rather than the way it's kept now. We have submitted a petition signed by people who live on both sides of Larchwood. We respectfully request that this ordinance be rescinded and the original one gets reinstated. I thank you for your time and for listening to our concerns. If anyone wants to see the videos, I have them on my iPad.
What number are you?
5'6". And then this gentleman, he's 5'0". And this gentleman's across the street.
I'd like to say a few words if possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Abraham Adis, 67 Larchwood Avenue, Oakhurst. I've been a lifelong resident of Deal and Ocean Township. I absolutely love the town and I love what we do here. Wonderful place to be and to live, and I'm very excited to be here. I was originally concerned for the change of the, first of all, I don't agree with no parking on Larchwood at all, because we all have companies sometimes that don't fit in the driveways, and I wouldn't personally want this. I want to make it clear, a petition that we submitted was not for no parking on either side of the street, but I don't know, I've submitted it, I believe, the petition, so I didn't even call any more than 13 homeowners and residents on the block, just a few Lisa and I had gone to, and I thought that was enough, but I'm pretty sure if I went to the other ones that they probably would have agreed with me. But 13 of them agreed that we were happier before on the other side of the block, and we recognize fully it was done with good intentions. And we actually recognized that Mr. Masry, Isaac Masry, who works with the shul, as you all know, actually asked for it, but about 4 or 5 years ago, before we knew we were going to have a parking lot. He thought it would be important to have that and whatnot. He's since changed his mind, and he's signed this petition as well, because it's a little bit different now. But as the mayor pointed out, absolutely, the thing that really caught all of our eyes immediately was the placement of the signs. Many of them were right in front of our front doors, and many of them were older signs pulled up that had some nice rust underneath it. So it wasn't a pretty sight. But then when I came back from my mom's house from Deal one day, and I was driving down Larchwood and going toward the college, every single solitary house had one, and it made me feel like my parents in Brooklyn or New York, and most of us who are Deal Hicks like me, we don't want anything to be like Brooklyn when we're over here. And it was very unsightly to see. And I actually, on the way over here, I went to see the corner of Park, my neighbor, 71, 67, 65, 61, 63, and down. Every single house on every property literally had that sign. It just doesn't look like our country living that we're used to. So I had a couple of notes. I mean, you have the petition here, correct?
Yep.
Just if anybody wanted to see it. So
Can I interrupt you while you keep going? What's the address of the shul?
45, is it?
No, probably 48.
48?
Thank you.
Oh, right, I'm on the outside.
I'm
Right,
sorry.
I'm on the outside. Okay, I just want to make sure I hit my notes here. And as Ms. Shabbat pointed out before, really, I was here also when they implemented the no parking on the west side of the street, and I don't remember anybody complaining about it either. I mean, we were all good with it, and we recognized that need to
And
have.
I love the signs on my side, love that. You can put them,
My last thing that I
Oh,
want
my
to say
God.
is, two last things I want to say is we can always, we can switch it back, and then if we see there's problems, we can always reassess after the synagogue opens. And last but not least, and I think this is being addressed, but the real issue, if you really want to tackle safety, the nuts and bolts of safety as opposed to the odds and ends of which side of the street is really better, 35 miles an hour means people drive 45 miles an hour, many much faster. If you want to protect people walking on the streets and going to their cars at night, it's got to be 25 like every other residential district. It's just very different than it was. I used to come here on my bicycle from my house in Deal, because my best friend, Mr. Soroya, his children had bought a double lot on Larchwood. So I remember coming there and there was nothing on the block, and it's quite different than back then. And I'm assuming that 35 miles an hour existed from back then.
Right.
And my opinion is, I know it's a different conversation, but that should be changed to 25 for safety purposes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else in regard to that?
The only other thing I would say is if for whatever reason, if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna request, I'm 65, my husband's 71, and as we all know, the eyes start to, it's a little harder. You get a little more hesitant. If I have to inch out of my driveway, and I showed the officer and he agreed with me, inching out, I'll be in the middle of the street by the time he and I get a visual because of my property, how we sit up. And the fact that they can't open their door, the passenger, so what do? They go more into the street. I have the pictures of the mother holding a child, walking with another one, and cars zipping by them. When you have a sidewalk on the other side of the street, it's a no-brainer. Why'd you put it in to begin with? Like, why did it go in the whole horse farm? There aren't homes there now. It's a straight shot. It has more than enough room.
Lisa, I'm gonna let Sergeant Martinez speak on that. We're gonna go off of what the professionals say. We always go off of what their recommendations are. So Sergeant, if you wanna say a few words.
Sure. So I had a meeting with Greg Blash, who left a little while ago, who's the township engineer. We went out there ourselves. Like you said, the reason we did move it to the other side was it was brought to my attention by Isaac Masry a while ago, and then 2 other residents on your street also came in often to say, hey, we'd love it on the other side because of the shul. I understand there is a parking lot going in the shul. It's not very big, and it's a very large shul. That was my biggest concern when that went in. When I wanted them to put in a bigger lot, it never came to be. So our thought process was that I understand there is sidewalk on the one side. It's not the full length.
Correct.
So either way, even if there are parking on that side, half of the road is still in the grass walking in the street, and that's the side in front of the shul. There
Correct.
is no sidewalk.
Oh,
Yeah, just sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to finish here. So me and Greg Blesh went out there and we said our best bet is to try and get the sidewalk continued on that side of Larchwood. Then we can easily put in a crosswalk to safely get everyone to the shul, be able to move the parking back to the other side. And that would make the most sense. I agree with you. I understand you're having a hard time getting out of your driveway. That's something that we could address now where we paint the curbs. For something, for interim, just temporarily moving the signs so they're not so in front of your home. And as for the speed limit, that's getting introduced today.
Yeah,
It is
I
getting lowered to
figured as
25,
much,
which
yeah.
is great.
That's really great.
And it's gonna be the full length of Larchwood from the border and.
From the border.
Yes, and you know what, that's been a long time coming.
Used to be 40 when I moved in, and
It's
my
been a
whole
long
plan
time.
40 was okay. 40 was
Yeah.
okay. because
It's
there's
a
nobody there.
different road, it's a
Yeah.
different, and you know,
Yeah.
you have much more of a walking community, and then there's talks of bike lanes coming down Larchwood. With bike lanes is now where are you parking with the
so
bike lanes?
narrow for
That'll be
bike
tighter.
lanes.
So that's something we're addressing, you know, this is, as our town has, I've been here 17, almost 18 years. It's a completely different town. You know, so we're trying to just adjust and grow with the town as it is. And, you know, we took into account complaints, and that's why we moved it to the other side, but now I have, you know, it's a back
They
and
have
forth, and it's a
13
back and
on the,
forth.
13 on the other side.
No,
If you
I
need
get
more, I
it.
might be able to get more.
And
But I really stopped at 13 because I thought that was enough.
I understand that.
There's 13 out of 18, but
Right.
it's not that the other 5 said no. I
Right.
never asked them.
Right.
I just got my whole block both
Right.
sides. I said, okay, both sides were happy before.
You know, my thought process is, again, if we could easily get, you know, the issue is getting that, on your side, you can't put a sidewalk in where your poles are.
Yeah, no,
So it's
ours.
impossible,
We're on a-
I know, and you're on a hill, so on the other side, it is easier to extend, but we have to get everyone's approval to do
So
that.
do you know that when you did back then, when you did the sidewalks and the curbs, the houses that did not want it, they turned it down. Do you know what the reason was? Because I am friendly with somebody. She came to me and she says, I don't want a sidewalk on my side. I don't want people standing in front of my house and looking in.
Right.
That was her complaint, had nothing to do with safety. They
Right.
will not agree to it, I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you now, that's.
But you know what, the town actually has a right to make them put the sidewalks if they want to, if
Oh,
and
they
when.
folded
Certainly
so
whenever they
quickly,
do
though.
construction, because that's why the sidewalk is there now.
Right, but she didn't want it, she was.
But that's why it
flat out-
stopped her, was those people agreed.
Well, no, what I'll tell you, Sergeant, the reason it stops where it was is because the farm was not
Most of
developed.
it's done.
Myself and my neighbor who were buying 2 pieces of property from the farm with the minor subdivision were forced to put the sidewalk in. It went back and forth for months and months with the council and in Ocean Township. And we didn't really care either way, but we're like, you want it or you don't, you want it or you don't, you want it or you don't. And they said, yeah, we want it, so they made us put it in. We didn't care, but they made us put it in. But, and the question back then was, why are we putting it in if we're not gonna go all the way? And then, when you have other people doing construction, why didn't you make them put it, if you were gonna make us? So,
That
just a
I
little
get.
information.
Yeah, no, I know.
That happens.
I would cut that
If you look at the parking,
This one.
the exit and entrance of the pool, if you have cars parked on that.
Well, that would be the same thing.
You're right, it's
Yeah,
8 to 8,
As it is.
7 days a
But,
week.
yeah.
We stopped listening to this?
I stopped a long time ago.
So you're losing that many more spots. If you're really talking about having the most amount of cars, and let's face it,
This or
crossing that
that.
street, it's not 35. Look left, look right, and you
It
can
is,
go.
that's how I feel too, but also,
I get it.
There's no I personally don't expect so many, if any, more cars than we currently have now. The synagogue is gonna be much bigger, but it's already feeding those people.
We have an open session downstairs that we have to attend to at 6:30, so you guys can chat, but we obviously know where we're moving on this, absolutely. We're listening to you.
You gotta adjourn the meeting.
Oh, motion to adjourn the
So
work
moved.
session meeting,
So
second.
moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
My name's Carl.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to remind you that all council meetings will be audio and videotaped. They'll be shown on the Township of Ocean's Community Channel, Channel 22 on Verizon Fios, and Channel 77 on Cablevision. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mayor Napolitani?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fisher?
Here.
Councilmember Chera?
Here.
And Weinstein.
Here.
Can you please stand while we pledge allegiance and remain standing as we do a silent prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. You may be seated. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied, and a copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, posted in Town Hall and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk on January 3rd, 2025. There are 2 emergency exits to my right that'll take you to the front of the building. There's one to my rear that'll take you to the back of the building. Please make sure all your cell phones are turned off, and if you have to make a call, kindly step outside. Before we get started with our council meeting, we have a couple of presentations. We are going to start with the Environmental Commission's Recycling PSA contest winners, and I believe I have our environmental chair here.
Yes, hello.
Come on up.
I don't see any of our winners.
Julia Sermont. Actually, wait a minute.
Valenti.
Julia Valenti now.
So some are coming from the governor's mansion
Here.
right now
Hold on.
because Jeff, can I say this?
Sure.
There was a New Jersey State Climate Challenge held at the governor's mansion, and our intermediate school won first place.
Yeah.
Nice.
So very amazing. I know Miss Edson's rushing here from there. Edophilia as well. So we do have students coming. So I don't know if you want to.
So if
wanna
if
bump
we're
us?
still down here for sure, yeah, we can totally do that.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Julia, can you just put that up there on the stand? And we have 3 proclamations tonight, 2 of which are not here this evening. We have Brian Woods. He just attained his Eagle Scout, and I'm not going to read the entire proclamation, but it says, "Now therefore be it proclaimed by the mayor and the governing body of the Township of Ocean that we hereby honor and congratulate Brian Woods upon obtaining the rank of Eagle Scout and commend his outstanding record of service, leadership, and accomplishment as exemplified by the rank, and extend to him the sincere best wishes for continued success in all future endeavors." Congratulations, Brian. Great job. And the next one that we have, let me just read this one and then we'll call up our last one. So it's here. We have Mental Health Month, June 2025, and I think that this does affect a lot of people. Me personally, having dealt with it with a brother and some other family members, very cognizant of mental health, and very important that you are too. So therefore be it proclaimed by the governing body of the Township of Ocean that June 2025 be declared Mental Health Month. That's for you. And one final proclamation is, and I believe we have Garden State Equality here. So why don't we come down? We're going to present the proclamation to Lauren Albrecht. Right, exactly. We're going to make it bigger. Let's go, folks.
Hi, Lauren. Hey, buddy, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for having us. Us is me today.
Us is me.
Royal
Think your boy Christian's gonna hear this one, huh? Couldn't make it to my town, huh? Couldn't come across the bridge? Come on over here. So, obviously June is LBGTQIA Pride Month, and this year, the Township of Ocean, on Pride Weekend, raised the Pride flag, which I thought was awesome. What do you think, Lauren?
Amazing.
Cool stuff. Ocean got to kick it off this weekend, that weekend, a few weeks ago. So
And can I say 2 words?
you can say a few.
I grew up in Ocean Township, so this means a lot to me. I'm a class of 99 graduate, Ocean Township High School. And when I was growing up in Ocean Township, I felt it was an inclusive and accepting space, but I never thought that it would be a place that would raise the pride flag. And so I'm just super glad to be here with you and thankful for y'all taking this step. I really appreciate it. And you, Mayor, I know that it means a lot to you too. So.
It does. And Lauren, I have to say, what a parade and event down there in Asbury Park. How many people usually attend that parade?
Oh God, tens of thousands.
It was packed.
Yeah.
And I have to say, probably one of the wildest parades I've ever been to and been in.
Yeah, it's always just fun and a good feeling all day. And then it ends early, which is great, and you go to bed. Yeah.
Some people go to bed, others go out and continue the party.
I was home by 5.
So we have a proclamation for you, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we're going to say, now, therefore, be it proclaimed, resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Township of Ocean, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, hereby declares LGBTQIA plus Pride Month for June 2025 in the Township of Ocean, and urges all of our residents to continue to celebrate diversity and inclusion, promote equality, acknowledge the achievements and contributions of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people, and to strive to eliminate prejudice everywhere that exists. So, Lauren, who's here from Garden State Equality, I present this to you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay. I'll see you. Okay, we're going to start with council comments. I'm going to start down at the end with Deputy Mayor Dave Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to let you guys know from the Mayor's Wellness Committee that the Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett event is sold out. So it sold out a couple weeks ago. So we're looking forward to welcoming home our champion and local resident, Kenny Pickett, who's going to be donating his time to the Children of Ocean. That is on Sunday, June 29th, and we're looking for a great day. So I invite all you guys to come out. We'll have a lot of fun.
Thank you, Dave. Councilman Weinstein.
Thank you, Mayor. So just a couple of things I have. On our Economic Development Committee that we just started, we had our first event, which was on the 5th of June. It was a workshop for small businesses. So we had a nice turnout. Roughly 45, 50 people came out. A lot of good discussion. I want to thank the people at Brookdale, Monmouth University, and NJEDA for all the work that they did kind of putting together. I want to thank Rob, my vice chair, and all the people at the town who kind of made it a great event. Also at Chick-fil-A, from what I understand, they also serve breakfast. That was part of what we said that day. So I told them every time I could plug them to do that, I would. I went to a session around FIFA Cup 2026. So I'm having some conversations with Mr. Brown about what we can do around being taking advantage of that as a town in 2026. And we have to actually start doing our planning around for that. On the environmental side, I do want to kind of congratulate Julia for the work that she did kind of putting this contest together where these kids are going to be able to show you what they did. I think there was something like 26 contestants, and it was a fun thing to be part of and a fun thing to watch. And I just want to thank Julia for having me be one of the judges, and really appreciate that. I'm going to let Rob talk about the expo that happened at the other day for the Chamber of Commerce. But I thought it was a very nice event, and I learned a lot. And just lastly, I want to kind of wish everybody who's graduating from high school all the best in their future endeavors. Graduation is on the 19th. And all the kids who are going from 8th grade into high school, I just want to wish them good luck.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Acera.
Mr. Mayor, thank you, Jeff, for letting me talk about the chamber event. It was held Tuesday at Jumping Brook. It was a complete sellout. Over 60 businesses attended, a lot of them from Ocean Township, which was great. The crowd was constant all evening from 5 to 7:30, I believe it was. So very successful. Chamber did a great job. We raised some money, but the purpose is more to along with the lines of the Economic Development Committee, to ensure that our businesses are getting visibility into the community. So that was fantastic. If I may plug one other thing, Mr. Mayor, the annual Chamber of Commerce golf outing, which is the Ansel Grimm and Aaron golf outing, they are the title sponsor, is being held on September the 8th, and it is also at Jumping Brook Country Club. So you can go online at gotcc.org if you'd like to put a foursome together. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Let me go down to Dave Brown, our township manager. I believe he has a little report.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Tonight I'm going to talk about Fire District 1. Council should have received communication from the Board of Fire Commissioners from Fire District 1. As you know, they're having a challenge right now. A good thing is the new firehouse is up and they're in it. But the unsuspected thing that happened was they got hit with approximately gonna get hit on July 1st with approximately a $15,000 tax bill, and they are a tax exempt entity. So what they're asking the council, and what I'm recommending that council does tonight, is take a motion after I'm completed speaking, because basically the only remedy that they would have is for the township council to waive the tax bill. I have been in consultation with the tax assessor, the tax collector, and the CFO. And the township attorney, and we all agree that the council should move forward with waiving the taxes that are going to be due on July 1st. So thank you.
You know how I feel. I'm going to make a motion, or somebody make a motion to waive the taxes for Fire District 1.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Discussion.
Just if I may ask
Yes.
the manager,
Yes.
I know the answer, but for the public, how did we get into that situation? They've never paid taxes before.
So when the property was in the private entity's hands as it was being built, it was being taxed, which it was, and those taxes were paid. The July 1st bill is going to come out, and the tax assessor has stated that the New Jersey state statute for tax assessing, they can't change the tax status back now at this point. It's past the specific date, so they can't change it back till 26. So what we'll be doing is providing relief to the Fire District 1 right now, because they would never pay taxes in the first place.
Correct. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? A roll call?
Achara?
Yes.
Oh, I lost my place. Kaplan? Oh, sure.
Yes, from me.
Weinstein?
Yes.
And
That would be me. Yes.
How you doing?
I'm glad we got that resolved. Dave, thank you very much for handling that with Fire District 1. You know how I feel. It's it's a branch off of the Township of Ocean, and if they pay it, it comes back to us, so it's the taxpayer regardless. So, give them a little relief. I think it's a very, very good thing. Thank you.
And I spoke to the administrator mayor, and he thanks the Township Council for tonight's actions.
That's good. And Jesse has a few words to say.
yes. We had the primary election this week, and I couldn't have handled it so well if it wasn't for Brad Andrus and is it John
Clank.
John Clank
Yep.
from Department of Parks and Recreation. They were wonderful. They made my job so easy, and Tom Hardy from Public Works arranged everything here, and it was just wonderful. I can't do it without them.
Jessie has a heck of a team, and she also changed one of the polling locations where we had to leave English Manor, which I think is a better move. We're over at the 10th hole. So now Jessie has the ability to get how many voting?
We have 3 voting locations.
3 locations in a location where we're getting some more visibility for the 10th hole, which has been doing phenomenal, by the way. It's a great place. If you haven't been there, go check it out.
And somebody already booked the party.
See, there you go. Good deal. I think we did too for Saturday, and then I got to go there the following week. So yeah, great spot. Thank you, Jessie, for everything that you do. And very small, just want to let people know that if you're not there or if you're here and you want to leave, there's a concert in Joe Playa Park right now. The West End Dogs are playing. We have our 4th of July celebration on July 2nd. Fireworks by Serpico. They always do a fantastic job. We have trucks out there. thousands of people in Playa Park and also up on the highway to watch them go up, and it's just a really, really good show. Really, really urge you to get out there and see that. And just want to let you know the mayor's charity event this year called Heroes United, where we're going to be honoring the Sirens and Shields of Ocean Township. And most importantly, five men that saved a child out of Middlebrook Apartments. Fire Chief Brian Pemberton, Fire Inspector Nick Simons, Sergeant Raheem Carter, Patrol Officer Christopher Stenger, and Patrol Officer Joe Larkins. They're being honored, and we're also honoring Tracy Berkowitz, our Director of Administrative Services, Jesse Joseph, our Township Clerk, and Susie Healy, our Tax Collector. So that event is not being held at a country club this year. It's being held at a venue that's less money, so we can make it more inclusive. Bar Anticipation on Wednesday, July 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. And we will have the Cliffs playing that night, so be a great night for everybody out there. That being said, we are going to open up public questions for our consent agenda. If you have any questions in regard to the consent agenda, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Consent agenda questions only. Seeing here none, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Chara?
Hold, please. So I'm no on Resolution 1A and abstaining on Resolution 8.
Got it. And abstain. Got it, thank you. Fisher?
I'm a yes for all.
Okay, Weinstein?
Yes for all.
And Napoltani?
Yes for all. Individual action. Vouchers in the amount of $22,682,698.03. Do I have a motion to approve the voucher list?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napoltani?
Yes. Ordinance is up for adoption. I have ordinance number 2507, which is an ordinance providing for the vacation of a portion of the right-of-way known as Van Note Parkway. Can someone please open public discussion on ordinance 2507?
I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2507.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napoltani?
Yes. Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance 2507, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Peter Young, 610 Deal Road. Where is Van Note Parkway in the township?
Van Note's in Oakhurst,
Mm-hmm.
and it's off of, what is it, off of Monmouth Road?
And vacation means it's going to go away?
Excuse me?
Means it's going to go away?
What's that, the road?
Yeah. What does vacation mean?
They're vacating a portion of the road, which means that there's part of it that's going to go bye-bye. Anyone else? Yeah.
And then earlier you spoke about ordinance 2510, and that is against...
When we get to 20, there's no discussion on the introductions. Next meeting you'll have that. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing here none. Do I have a motion to close public discussion on ordinance 2507?
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2507.
Second?
Yes. Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napoltani?
Yes, action on ordinance 2507.
I'd like to move to adopt ordinance 2507 and publish according to law.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napoltani?
Yes. That ordinance is now adopted. And what's it, 20 days after that?
Yeah.
20 days. Ordinance 2508, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean 1965 entitled Traffic. Someone please open public discussion on ordinance 2508.
I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2508.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Anyone wishing to be heard on ordinance 2508, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Peter Young, 610 Deal Road. Can you just give us a brief sort of recap of what's in there?
Sure. We have Grant Avenue and Idlewood Avenue. They are
Changing,
just changing the
limiting the parking.
Yeah,
on
that's-
the side of the road.
limiting parking one side of the road on those two. Any other questions? Seeing here none, do I have a motion to close public discussion on ordinance 2508?
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2508.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Action on ordinance 2508.
I'd like to move to adopt ordinance 2508 and publish according to law.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Introductions to ordinance number 2509, which is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 5 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean 1965, entitled Parks and Playgrounds, Section 16-5.6, Rental Fees. Can someone please introduce ordinance 2509?
I'd like to move to introduce ordinance 2509.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. That ordinance will have its public hearing on June 26th. Ordinance 2510, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 12 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean 1965, entitled Traffic, subsection 12-11.1, Speed Limit Designated. Someone please introduce ordinance 2510.
I'd like to move to introduce ordinance 2510.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. That too will have its public hearing on June 26th. Ordinance 2511, which is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 5 of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Ocean 1965, entitled Licenses, Section 5-19, Filming. Someone please introduce ordinance 2511.
I'd like to move to introduce ordinance 2511.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Achara?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Naplatani?
Yes. Before we open it up for public comment, I see Denise Play out there. Denise, do we have any other children that we're waiting for? Or we just have one lucky one? All right. Well, we're going to come down and give you a certificate. Who do we have?
We have,
All right.
that's Chloe?
Come on, Chloe. You're going to be on TV.
And really quick, I just want to give a shout out to.
Hold on. You have to state your name and address for the Mrs. Valenti.
Do I?
I'm just kidding.
Member Brandon, it was his idea to do this recycling contest, and Ed DeFilia really brought it into fruition, so I have to give a shout out to them.
Oh, you're the best. Come on up. You're the environmental chair. Come on up. You're going to get some pictures, too. Hey, Chloe, how are you? You're on TV. Look, smile. Look at that. And you're the only one up here. This is great. So, talk to me. I see a certificate of accomplishment for you. So, you were one of the recycling PSA contest winners?
Yep.
So, how did you win this?
I don't know.
What did you do? What did you do?
Well, I just.
What grade are you in, by the way?
Fourth.
Fourth. I used to teach fourth 1 year. Then I got kicked out. Wasn't good. Well, I got in trouble with my boss, which would be like a Miss Playa.
So I like researched stuff about recycling. I wrote it down, and on Canva, I made a slide for it.
On who?
On Canva.
I don't know what that is.
It's a slideshow thingy. Yeah.
Oh, we got the rest coming in. Come on up.
We didn't win anything.
She did.
She didn't. Well, she won a different thing.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got our environmental commission filling in over here.
Yeah.
Chloe's filling us in on what she did to get the certificate.
Yeah. Like I said.
Yeah, what did you learn? Denise, get over here. Come on. Denise, get over. Can you please get over here? You are the principal.
Well, I learned that it's like bad for the environment because like you're just throwing like some people in our community are just throwing trash in the ocean and then it's just harming the animals. So I just learned to just I don't really know how to say it. Yeah, the plastic gets like when people throw plastic in the ocean, it gets like stuck in the animals, like the turtles. It gets stuck in their necks and stuff.
Right, like you have to cut the plastic rings on it so they don't get their neck stuck. You know what the council did tonight?
No.
So we voted on something to ban offshore drilling. That affects the environment too. Do you know what drilling is?
Drilling, like
Where they're going for oil.
oh no.
You might have heard that a while ago, but here's the deal. We did that. So we're about the environment and keeping it a safer place, and we really appreciate for what you did to get this certificate. So Chloe, this is yours. Thank you very much. All right. Yes.
So I just want to say about the contest, so I think there were 26 entries. 22 entries, sorry. But they were 90 seconds long, right? No longer than 90 seconds. 60 seconds. Again, the whole thing wrong. But I wanted to say that I do want to say that when we went through them, the voting was very close. A lot of people did an incredibly great job. The production was great. The kids did a super job. You could tell that they were just all enthusiastic. The energy that you saw from the contest was super. So it was just a great learning experience for everybody. So I just want to kind of congratulate you, but kind of congratulate everybody that participated.
Thank you, Councilman, and I want to thank Ed DeFiglia, our planning board chair, who's here. He's also was a member of the Environmental Commission and still is, and our chairwoman is right here, which is great. So you guys, we thank you for doing what you do, not only for this community but for the environment in general. So thank you very much. And I'm going to give the rest of the certificates to your principal so she can hand them out. Right? Here you go.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah. Who was there? Oh, very nice. Very nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, they got. Oh, Ocean Township. Big shout out.
Yeah, that was very cool. Very cool.
Okay, we're going to open it up for any public comment. Any comments that are germane to the Township of Ocean. Again, please state your name and address for the record. You have a 5-minute limit. Nice. This is you can come up to the microphone. I believe it's on. Just state your name and address for the record. I think it is.
Sheila Pasner, and I live in Oakhurst.
Hi, Sheila. How are you?
It's a purely, not selfish, but in a way it is. Well, I spoke to you previously about 2 years ago about garage sales, and that's my pet. You know, other than that,
She catches me when I'm in the driveway cutting grass and.
Is it during a garage sale?
No.
we haven't had one in about 2 years. And I've gone to Ms. Berkowitz, and it's like, I said, you don't even show an interest in putting, she said, well, we're going to charge probably in 2
Sheila, talking to the mic.
Oh.
Just talking to the mic.
I'm sorry.
No,
And
it's okay.
she
Tom wants
said
to
to
hear
me, we were both very cordial and civil, but that was it. I showed her that these have been done, and my neighbor, I know the neighbor on my block, would certainly welcome it. And I just wanted to appear here. And the rain dates that she gave me were totally absurd. I asked her, finally pinning her down. It sounds really ridiculous, but I'd like to have a garage sale, and I'd like to have a town one. Do you remember the date? That's it.
I don't remember the date for this year.
Jesse's saying that we did have one last
We
year.
had one last year.
Yeah.
Can you show me the?
It may
You
not
can
have-
you can contact the clerk's office tomorrow. She has the record of when it
Okay.
was.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. That's it.
And they're
There was a.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had one.
And how many were there before?
It's usually one a
It
year.
was-
usually
they
do
had
one a year.
Yeah, one a year.
And I asked her, well, why don't we have? She said, well, why don't you have it with other people? I said, I do.
Right.
And
Once a year, the town holds a town-wide yard sale. And
Fine. It should have a rain date. And I went through the whole thing. I think I'm just annoyed with that I have to come here. This is a third time.
just stop by Rob's house. He'll fill you in.
Who has more junk, you or I? My house.
Oh, I've been to his garage, believe me.
Open my garage. The next time you stop by, I'll open my garage.
I had to move a couch out of there with him one day. I was stressed out being in that
Don't
garage.
give secrets away.
Mine's worse now.
His
Okay,
blows
It's
my
actually
way.
worse now.
Okay, thank you.
The kids got all their stuff there.
Anyone else wishing to be heard? Senior, before we adjourn, we're going to go into closed session. Action may be taken, probably not, but just want to, preface that action may be taken. So do I have a motion to adjourn the public meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to enter into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
The chair?
Yes.
Fisher?
Yes.
Weinstein?
Yes.
Napolitani?
Yes.